spirits of the dead are cloaked. Heads up, Sam. It's not safe. They're not human. Don't underestimate them. they trying to lay a trap for us? The Odra deck is reacting to something. We should keep an eye on it and proceed with caution. There's too many. You can't handle them all by yourself. But maybe split them up. Take them one by one. Sam? Sam! Encuéntralo! Too many. You can't handle them all by yourself. But maybe you can split them up. Take them one by one. Escaped, Sam. Up into that tower. He's too quick. Must have gone up to the roof. Did he say Nirvana? Is he implying this is some sort of realm for the enlightened?
You're right.
It's her, isn't it? The girl from before? I have no idea what just happened, but we should probably take her back to the DHV Magellan, huh?
Now destroy
it, come to the room next door. Don't push yourself. Take your time.
Are you sure you're all right, Sam? I did notice that you were tossing and turning in your sleep. And I'm still not sure what to make of the girl we found in that other place. Why don't we do as Fragile suggested and visit her in the next room?
Come on.
You're okay. Come on. Careful, careful,
Come on.
careful.
Come down.
You got it?
Come on.
Thanks.
This is what happens when she has nightmares, it seems.
There are those who connect with the beach during REM sleep, allowing a tremendous amount of chiralium to flow into their bodies.
Hey, is your wrist gonna be okay?
Yeah. We ran some blood and DNA tests on her. And checked her for signs of injury.
As far as we can tell from a medical perspective, her health is in perfect condition. But that doesn't make the chrysaloid shell in which we found her any less troubling. Not to mention the tar-like fluid that came pouring out of it. We're still analyzing both. And there's more.
You mean those suckers?
Indeed. But that's not what I'd call them. Much closer to a chiral rash, I would say. You know how chiral allergies can sometimes trigger goosebumps? It's like that, except a fair bit worse. The tar-like secretions can accelerate the passage of time on contact, it seems.
We suspect she has dooms too.
And that when she's levitating, she's experiencing the nightmares common amongst sufferers.
That space or realm she left behind to come here. The fellow we saw called it Nirvana, I believe. But to me, it looked like the land of the dead.
Even so, she's a living human being. And I believe that she was born in that place. After things settled down, I spoke with her for a little. Or tried to. She was still in shock, which made it harder to communicate.
Did she tell you her name?
Doesn't seem like she has one. As far as I could tell. So, I named her myself. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh?
Sam, it's Charlie. We've recently received a report of brigands engaging in suspicious activity to the west. And I'm sure you'd like to push on, but I don't think we can afford to ignore this. Please access the DHV Magellan's delivery terminal to undertake this main order.
Tomorrow, a mysterious young woman from the world of the dead. I hope she makes a swift recovery. I just can't stop thinking about that place. It was filled with the spirits of the dead, a vast number, beyond counting. And the man who attacked us without any explanation. I don't have any idea who he is. Do you? It was a place that belonged to the dead. And while we were trapped there, only a scant few seconds seem to have passed here. It's like the beach in that regard. Time flows differently there, relative to how it does in our world. Those battlefields you once journeyed to were also pockets of reality outside of ours. But this was different. Perhaps we'll be able to understand it better if we ever get the chance to go there again. Which isn't to say that I want to go back. Before I forget, Sam, it seems you left some cargo behind outside the Northern Environmental Observatory, where the tar bubbled up before we were whisked away to the other side. You remember all that excitement, yes? Anyway, Tarman was kind enough to collect your cargo for us. It's been placed in your private locker aboard the DHV Magellan.
Sam, we've received an urgent request from the Northern Environmental Observatory. Brigands to the west of the facility have got their hands on a large stockpile of weapons and have taken it back to their base. This happened shortly after the recent tarfall abated. The surrounding area was littered with a massive quantity of cargo that had been washed up by the tar. The brigands wasted no time gathering up everything they could and hauling it back to their encampment. This included weapons and gear unlike any we've seen before. And now we've begun observing new brigand units in the field. These ones are wearing red, reinforced armor, accented with luminescent light strips. As their unique appearance suggests, they're more resistant to damage. Melee and electrical attacks are especially ineffective against them. These units have clearly been outfitted for close quarters combat. And their sudden deployment is troubling to say the least. Their presence likely indicates that the brigands are gearing up for a raid of some sort. If we ignore this development, the brigands could use their new toys to attack the observatory, and there's no telling what might happen then. So we need to seize all of them before they have a chance to do so. Moreover, the latest data from the observatory strongly suggests an explosion of some sort occurred just beneath the Earth's surface not long ago. APAS analyzed the shockwave and has concluded that it is consistent with the type produced by ground-penetrating ordnance. This leads us to believe that the cargo the brigands secured may have included powerful explosive material. Directly assaulting the brigands using firearms risks triggering these devices, and we cannot predict how that would affect the region. Any sort of catastrophic explosion may also have an adverse impact on the tar currents. It is therefore critical that you avoid combat and secure the cargo without alerting them if possible. I implore you to take on this main order, Sam. And soon.
Get to safety, Sam. You can pack out at any moment.
Recovered everything then. Great. Let's get it delivered.
Did you really go out and steal all that stuff from the brigands? Way to go, Sam. Let me get started on processing your haul. I can't find a single scratch on any of this stuff. You truly are one of a kind. You have accomplished so much, done things only you could have done. We want you to have this data as thanks. We've increased your allocation of materials. Our way of...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The guidepost data we just shared with you is great for making landmarks to prevent people from getting lost, even at night. And when you do place them, you'll find they're useful not only for getting your bearings, but also for creating routes that will facilitate travel for everyone. Aside from that, we've also made it so you can now use your PCC to fabricate bridges up to 80 meters in length. The rivers ahead of you are prone to flooding, so I imagine extra long bridges will be especially handy. Oh, and Sam, there's actually one other thing I wanted to talk about. Call it a little insight into the cargo you recovered on our behalf. It included a device I believe you guys have taken to calling a chiral jammer. These jammers are capable of disrupting the flow of local tar currents. In addition, you also recovered some explosives modded to be able to penetrate the ground and detonate within the tar. This would destabilize the currents over a large area. Needless to say, both these items could have been used to deliver an enormous blow to the chiral network. In other words, we've really dodged a bullet. But what I'd like to know is why this tech wound up in their hands in the first place. Can't chalk it up to pure chance. Honestly, it's almost like those brigands knew in advance that the tar was hiding cargo. We've got to consider the possibility that someone gave them a heads up. Food for thought on the road ahead.
Excellent work, Sam. You'll be happy to hear that tomorrow's regained consciousness. Once you're back on board the DHV Magellan, you should see for yourself.
Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes? She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.
As usual, Drawbridge can't help but run its people ragged. Tomorrow seemed to react negatively to overstimulation. This is likely just a defensive mechanism, so to speak. A way to safeguard her mind from the strange and unfamiliar. At times like these, it's best to limit the number of people attempting to help the distressed individual. So let's trust in Rainey and Fragile to take care of her. You've been receiving more dangerous orders. I respect your willingness to undertake them without any fuss. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for assistance if you ever find yourself in need of it. While I'm incapable of fighting like you, if you throw me toward your enemies, I can keep them distracted, for a short while at least. Sam, the Brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design, significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated.
Good morning to you.
Sam, by linking up the various sites farther to the north, you'll eventually be able to establish a connection to Hartman's facility. In short, it's time to tackle the northern part of the continent. Start by bringing the F2 South Distribution Center into the network. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knott who managed to escape the city before it was swallowed up by the tar. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also protect the facility from would-be assailants. Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extremely high, leading to disturbing reports of paranormal phenomena near the facility. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid staff in dealing with this issue. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. This cargo has been designated Do Not Submerge.
You'll be in my...
animal that appears to be on its own. This could be a good opportunity to assist the shelter with their preservation initiative.
Good morning to you. Robbery with credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted.
Chiral decontamination in progress. No anomalies detected. Welcome, Sam.
You're with Drawbridge, I presume. Yeah, you seem like the genuine article. Welcome. Hope it wasn't too hard to track. I'll just need a moment to check your cargo. This is downright perfect. You are a master of your trade. You have been making a real difference around here. Keep it up, all right? All right. Go ahead and put us on the chiral network.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as well. Feels like we finally turned a corner.
For our part, we've shared data for some custom vehicle components, as well as some sturdy combat boots. I'm sure the vehicle parts in particular will come in handy for combat and cargo retrieval. You need all the help you can get, because those armed survivalists waiting for you out east are far more dangerous foes than the brigands. They're a bunch of fools who won't hesitate to kill people, with no shortage of lethal weaponry. Though I'll be damned if I know where they got it. Make sure you're prepared before you head their way. Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious power to your kicks. You might want to equip a pair if you intend on getting up close and personal.
They're not something just anyone should be messing with. Their affinity with the dead makes them dangerous. But that's also why we could use them to prevent the dead from attacking us. With that kind of power at our disposal, we can put people's minds at ease. Could solve all kinds of problems, I'm sure.
We've uploaded some schematics for pickup off-roader parts. One of them is a heavy machine gun. It automatically acquires and fires at targets in range. It uses MP bullets for added versatility. It's effective not only against human enemies like armed survivalists, but BTs as well. The other part is a sticky cannon. When mounted, it independently scans for cargo in the vehicle's vicinity and collects it. You'll find it makes rounding up dropped cargo easier than ever. And who wouldn't want that? Pickup off-roaders can be equipped with 2 parts like these simultaneously. So choose whatever's best for the situation at hand. Some people have called me that. A while back, we had a situation with this group that went around looting whatever supplies they felt like. And I was the boxing champ who went up against these guys and sent them all packing with nothing but his bare fists. That's the story they tell, but it sure as hell ain't the truth. I didn't charge gallantly into battle and beat the shit out of them. I approached them in peace so we could work it out. I asked why they were stealing from other people, and they said
It was because they didn't have the skills to live any other way. So I taught them other ways to survive. Trained them a bit. Nothing more than that, really. In the end, all we had to do was talk to each other. They weren't like the other riffraff you find around here. And they're still here. In fact, working in this facility. If anyone around here deserves to be called a hero, it's you, Sam. I mean, you're the one trekking across Australia trying to bring everyone together. Anyway, right now, we're trying to develop equipment tailored to close combat specialists. If we succeed, anyone will be capable of fighting as well as the so-called Golden Fist. Feel free to lend a hand if our project interests you. Thanks again. We're glad to have you in our corner. With your support, we'll be able to do so much more for others. Stay strong and keep doing your thing. We're in this fight together.
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back to the DHV Magellan and take a load off. Just so you know, tomorrow's been doing much better. Pay her a visit when you can, okay?
Order completed. Well done.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Raindrops are falling on my head. Oh, just a little longer, okay? Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. You know this song? So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Okay. all
Raindrops
done.
keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Necrobiotes are fascinating. And they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well. Ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tarfall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane. So, Samson Hook from the F2 South Distribution Center is not a man to be trifled with, no sir. I did some research, and I found he's a popular local figure, beloved by one and all, it seems. Known as the Golden Fist as well. But don't misunderstand. I'd wager the people's love for him is not rooted solely in his considerable martial prowess.